Hello YouTubes, welcome back to Scott Rails. I want to give you an update on my track plans. There's been some changes, but first my wife has asked me to 3D print some tiny little structures. What could possibly go wrong? As you may have noticed, we had a couple of fatalities. We're still learning how to use the 3D printer, and I think the problem I had there was there's a bath of resin, and if there's any bits of shrapnel from a previous print still in the bath when you start the next one, it totally destroys the next batch. So it's worth taking a bit of time and possibly draining out the resin through a filter, make sure there's no bits, and then put it back in. But hey, we're learning as we go. She is going to redo those ones, but she's also got some little tiny people that she's currently painting, and I'll show you them after I've given you the update, which I'm going to do now. I made the decision on the last video that I was only going to have one continuous loop without any point-to-point, but maybe a little bit of industry. Well, I've changed my mind. I've been running this train now for nearly a week, round and round in circles, and it does get a little bit boring. So here's the updated plan. I'm going to have a turnout here that's going to go up this way, possibly another turnout here, which is going to come back, and I'm thinking possibly a little railway museum, which I can run random little exhibition trains, shall we say, that can go round the entire track. I'll show you how later. And then they can come back here and sit back at the little museum, and I can change that periodically. So this line here is going to come round here. Forget about that bit, I don't have a bit of track short enough to show this in the description. This is going to rise up a little bit because it's going to have to go over this bridge. And I haven't quite decided yet. I might actually just have a lake end here with maybe a small river coming this way. But I don't think I want a huge river coming all the way to the edge of the layout. Okay, back to the track. Once it gets across this bridge, it's actually going to split off here. One side is going to go underneath this mountain area and there'll be a tunnel here. So this is going to disappear here and come back out the tunnel here. Now that's a big area for potentially a derailment and not having access. So what we'll probably have here is a road coming along here and going into a road tunnel, and it will kind of disappear. There'll be a little crossing or whatever underneath there, but it means I've got access for my fat arms to get in there and pick up trains. This rail will continue around here and it will eventually go into the industrial area. Now, coming back on this other line from the industrial area, yeah, I know, so much for just having a single look. The industrial area line is going to come along here, it's going to split off and go onto the main line. And it can come back on this way, but it's going to cross over here potentially to get up to that line again. This section here, again coming from the industrial area, is going to terminate at this lake / river area, and I might have some form of goods for a ship to come drop off stuff, jump on a train and carry on back to the industrial area. But everything's going to be able to get onto the main line either here or up there. So that's the plan for now. I don't really have anything solid here for the industrial area. I am thinking about putting this little, I don't know the term for this type of upside down bridge, because normally bridges are like that, but this one seems to be that way around. And I think it might just be nice to add it in there and have another little river coming along here somewhere. So that is the updated plan for the track. And I think what I'm going to start with is get this siding up here, because I do want a little station up here. So I may as well, it's quite a simple turnout coming in, goes along here, turnout going back onto the main line. So a little platform there would be fine. Maybe having a road coming off, a little car park for cars obviously, and a little road coming off down here or something. But yeah, I think I'll get this glued down first. I found a little plastic building kit at the bottom of a box of junk, and this wall was bright yellow and this was brown and it looked pretty nasty. But my wife stuck it all together and added some paint, and she's going to turn that into a little farm shop. We've got a little shop called Bennett's near us that sells fresh apples and bread and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's what that's going to be. And there should be enough room here. The road will go along here, car park, farmy type stuff. And that rail behind will just be fenced off at the back. I think that'll be fine. Don't worry about the cars, I know they're too big. They're just there for example. That's the smallest Hot Wheels Matchbox type cars you get. I mentioned in a post on Budget Model Railroads that Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars are not necessarily to the scale they say, like 1/64 I think, because they have to fit in certain packaging size. So that huge Mercedes SUV would be the same size as like a Volkswagen Beetle. Now the Beetle would obviously be out of proportion, but I think the SUV type thing works okay. My wife tasked me with building some sort of modular kiddies park area. I'm not sure of the exact size, and I wasn't really sure until I printed these things off. So this is some sort of climbing frame. The little swing set that broke a leg off, which is probably getting reprinted. Once I decide just how much space we require, I'm going to make this out of foam, but it's going to be kind of raised at the edges because she wants to experiment with the static grass. There'll be a path of a different colour going round and whatever else. So I think the whole thing needs to be a little bit bigger than that. Not a huge amount, because I've got a lot to fit in this layout. But once I get everything else, like that little carousel that didn't quite survive, and there was a chute that also didn't survive, So they need to go in. So yeah, I think the whole thing needs to be just maybe an inch wider all the way around. No idea where it's going yet. But as I say, if I make it modular, then I can put it wherever and it'll kind of sink into the base. Remember, this is 1.5 inch foam. It can go anywhere. I mentioned before, I want to add a budget Magna rail system. That's the one where the cars can go round the layout. I'm waiting on parts coming from China. It's the only place I can get the parts, and if they are the right parts, I might be able to duplicate them on the 3D printer. So let me give you a sort of example how this is going to work. All you need is a car and 2 magnets. There's one stuck to the bottom of the car. I will be using smaller magnets than that, but that's all I have at the moment. And I've got this on 4mm hardboard. So I will probably have much finer material to go over the track, and it has to be removable in case you have to change your structure underneath. Anyway, so this magnet here will be attached to the chain underneath. And then when the chain goes round its root, you can pull the car along with it. Now it's quite noisy just now because the lower magnet is touching the board. I mean, I'm not holding a magnet and it's stuck to the underside of the board, but it won't obviously be attached to the board. It will be a few mil below the board. And the good thing about this is if you reverse, it will go into, no it won't. If you reverse, the magnet's actually too strong. So I think the smaller magnets will be better. So you get the idea. And I can basically put the magnets on every link of the chain that I'm going to use. And then I can position cars wherever I want. And if you size the magnets right and position them right, then all your wheels will turn. Pretty neat. Let me just try that without the magnet being attached to the underside. Obviously the wheels don't steer. I think that's going to work fine. I need to experiment with some rubbery paint for the road surface, try and take away that scrapey mechanical sound. The underside, I'm hoping, as long as the chain doesn't touch the underside of the road, we won't get any noise from that, so it's all going to be coming from this. The Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars, they're a bit heavier, and this one I think is actually metal. So the HO cars I'm getting are plastic, which means I'll get away with using a smaller magnet, but I might actually have to add a little bit of weight to the HO stuff. We'll see. When you see them, you're going to be disappointed. They're all used and they look garbage, but I'll be painting them all up. So that's the plan. For now, let's go upstairs and have a look at my wife's painted ladies. Just your average day outside Tim Hortons. Looks like we've got a mum. If you want a double, get a job, pay for it yourself, son. Over here, probably our other son just texting away. Mr. Nobody, Jimmy No Mates over there. Oh, this guy's in trouble. Where were you last night? I waited up till 2 in the morning. Think up a good one. Over here, oh, what a poser, eh? Someone take my picture, please. Oh, this little ginger nut, he's about to fall over. He had far too much to drink last night. Oh, someone else in trouble. She does not look impressed. Wow, check out that poser. Please, someone take my picture. I'm handsome me. This guy's just chilling out. Don't know what this wee guy's doing. And what do we have over here? Oh, it looks like we've got an Elvis. And everyone around about him just like, not sure if you're the real Elvis or not. Nice job though, nice job. Well, I think they look great. Certainly better than I could do, although I do have another set that I printed off that I need to try and paint with my sausage fingers. Right, I'll see you downstairs. Well done to my wife, they look magnificent. Right, I better get to work. I've got a lot of track to lay. Well, I've got some track to lay now that I know where it's going. Now, do I start with the track or do I do my wife's little park scene that she needs for all her little figures that she needs to reprint? If you get any suggestions, leave a comment, but I think we're almost there with the final layout design. So I think that's what we'll go with. And then once that's done, we can start thinking about actual scenery and ballast. I really want to get the ballast done, and I've got a lot of new ballast to show you that I got really cheap. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and click the bell and all that good stuff. Oh, I hate when people say that. Bye for now.